Political winds are now blowing in a different direction in Turkey after 2 long decades. Its president Recep Tayyip Erdogan has faced the biggest electoral defeat of his career. Though he himself did not contest as a candidate in the recently held local body polls, he was the face of his Justice and Development Party, or AK party, on the campaign trail. So 1 year after winning a third term as president, Erdogan was the big loser in these elections. And this man was the face of victory, Ekrem İmamoğlu. He first won the mayoral election in Istanbul in 2019 and has now won the city for a second time. He represents a secular opposition party, the Republican People's Party, or CHP. By the way, Erdogan's presidential term only ends in 2028, so he will be helming Turkey's politics for a few more years. So how will Erdogan's defeat in Turkey's local polls reflect in the country's foreign policy, especially in Turkey's engagement with countries it has traditionally had frayed ties with? And in which direction will Erdogan steer his foreign policy in the Mediterranean region and beyond? Hello and welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. Let's connect the dots of the shifting power games of Turkey and how India is navigating them. What you see to my left is a guard of honor being given to Dimitrios Chopis, the Greek military chief in New Delhi. His recent visit to India was crucial for both countries from a strategic point of view. That's because during his visit, India and Greece signed a landmark agreement on a military cooperation program for 2024, in short, MCP 2024. So what does the agreement entail? Well, it outlines how India and Greece intend to collaborate in areas such as military training, technology exchange, and defense production. It involves exercises and joint activities with personnel from all three branches, the Army, Navy, and Air Force, as well as the Special Forces. Now, each of these areas have become increasingly important in India-Greece ties. In fact, the whole partnership has acquired a good deal of strategic heft recently. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi travelled to Athens in August 2023. Can you imagine? This was the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Greece in 40 years. Bilateral ties were upgraded to a strategic partnership. 6 months later, when the Greek Prime Minister came to India in February 2024, it was the first prime ministerial visit from Greece to India since 2008. Which means it happened after a wait of 15 years. So a long hiatus in engagement at that level has finally ended, and India and Greece are coming closer than ever before. They want defense co-production and co-development, and it's already been decided that India and Greece will link their defense industries. That's not all. The Indian Air Force participated in the multinational Greece-hosted exercise in Iochos 23 with Sukhoi 30 fighter jets in April and May 2023. Indian pilots trained with their Greek counterparts on F-16 planes. Yes, the same planes that are the backbone of the Pakistani Air Force. And so they got familiar with combating this aircraft. Now, Greek defense experts think Athens should consider importing BrahMos missiles from India. So what's the rationale binding India and Greece? Well, while geoeconomics is at play because the Eastern Mediterranean region where Greece falls is rich in natural gas, the geopolitical reason is Turkey. In fact, the Turkey factor has been driving ties between India, Greece, Cyprus, and Armenia. Let's break this down further. Turkey has a history of feuds with Greece over the control of the Aegean Sea and the Eastern Mediterranean. Turkey asserts its maritime claim beyond the waters assigned to it under the international law of United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Turkey is not a signatory of UNCLOS. It rejects UNCLOS and seeks control over several Greek islands and the territorial waters around them in the Aegean Sea. Turkey's claims extend further into the Eastern Mediterranean in a dispute with Cyprus. Turkey's exclusive economic zone claims clash with Cyprus as well. Greece and Turkey also back opposing sides in a dispute that has divided Cyprus on ethnic lines. In 1974, Turkey, as it was called then, invaded and occupied half of Cyprus. Cyprus is divided between Greek and Turkish populations, while Turkey supports the Turkish Cypriots, who control the northern part of the island nation of Cyprus. Greece supports the Greek Cypriots in the south. In a message to Turkey, India and Greece have been calling for a free, open and rules-based Mediterranean Sea and Indo-Pacific in tune with the international law of the sea as reflected in UNCLOS and with full respect for the sovereignty, territorial integrity and freedom of navigation. So what has bedeviled India's ties with Turkey? Turkey supported Pakistan over Kashmir. It internationalized the issue at various international fora. It was one of the few countries that opposed India's entry into the nuclear suppliers group. Turkey and Pakistan have long-standing military relations under which Ankara helps Islamabad modernize its military with drones and submarines. And here's how India has responded to the Pakistan-Turkey nexus. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's planned visit to Turkey was cancelled in October 2019. A lucrative $2.3 billion naval deal with a Turkish defense company was terminated. India also cut its defense exports to Turkey. This included dual-use weaponry such as explosives and detonators. India also significantly reduced its imports from Turkey. At the same time, India entered into a defense agreement worth $40 million with Armenia, Turkey's traditional rival in the region. India also raised concerns over human rights violations by Turkey in Greece, Cyprus and Armenia. So Turkey's hostility towards India pushed New Delhi closer to these countries. But all that is changing now, because in recent times, Turkey has hit the reset button in its foreign policy by adopting a more pragmatic approach. Turkey perhaps realizes now its failure to emerge as the leader of the Islamic grouping consisting of Pakistan, Malaysia, Iran and Qatar in an attempt to break Saudi Arabia and the UAE's ideological supremacy within the Islamic world. Former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan was Erdogan's biggest supporter. His ouster from office, followed by Pakistan's acute financial dependence on Saudi Arabia, virtually killed that idea. Turkey's economic problems forced it to mend ties with the UAE and Saudi Arabia, hoping to attract the investments to infuse a much-needed boost into Turkey's fledgling economy. In February 2022, Erdogan visited the UAE. 4 months later, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman travelled to Turkey to normalize ties. Turkey re-established diplomatic relations with Israel after more than a decade of tensions. Erdogan also reached out to other foes, including Egypt, Greece and Armenia, to mend relations. Towards the west, Turkey's relations started to improve, although at a much slower pace. The Russian war in Ukraine placed Ankara on the active front of the Black Sea. Turkey also improved ties with the US and its NATO allies. And what about India and Turkey ties? Well, President Erdogan's meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Samarkand in Uzbekistan during the SCO summit in 2022 was the game changer. It paved the way for greater interaction between the two foreign offices. India's generous assistance to Turkey under Operation Dost in the aftermath of a devastating earthquake there helped thaw relations further. Turkey toned down its rhetoric on Kashmir. India has excellent relations with the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Israel and Egypt, so Turkey took note of that too while rebuilding ties with India. India has since awarded a consortium of Turkey's top 5 leading shipyards, TAIS, the contract of naval shipbuilding worth $2.3 billion. A Turkish company, Savronik, has also completed a defense ministry-related project to build a tunnel in India's Leh-Manali highway. Also, Turkey is getting disenchanted with Pakistan by and by. This is neutralizing the most important factor behind its animosity towards India. The number of illegal Pakistani immigrants in Turkey is proving to be a huge irritant in Ankara's ties with Islamabad, as they have been found to be involved in gang wars, crimes against women, human and narco trafficking, and kidnapping of tourists visiting Turkey for ransom. Coming back to Turkey's elections now, what could be the foreign policy implications of the recent electoral drubbing faced by Erdogan's party? Well, there's much to suggest that Erdogan will stick to the path of strategic realignment aimed at repairing relations with neighboring countries, the United States and India, because this strategy seems to be helping him in winning more friends than foes. With this approach, he could also revive Turkey's economy and play a more constructive role in geopolitics. And as far as India-Turkey ties go, the ground seems fertile to go beyond the recent recalibration in their ties and steer the ship towards the destination of greater mutual strategic trust. Imagine a computer program cooking your next meal, or composing a song that touches your soul, or even strategizing and fighting wars. Sounds crazy, right? Well, guess what? This isn't science fiction anymore. Artificial intelligence, or AI for short, is closer than you think. Take the example of the Gaza conflict. Israeli military operations employ artificial intelligence to target Hamas militants in Gaza. Similarly, in the Russia-Ukraine war, AI is playing a significant role in combat operations. Now listen to what this AI expert says.
In the realm of modern warfare, artificial intelligence stands at the forefront, revolutionizing war tactics and logistics. Logistics is the way a war is won. You can actually cut the supply of your enemy and he's totally dead. AI systems analyze combat scenarios in real time and can optimize strategies that can ensure smarter and faster decision-making on the field. Logistics, which is the backbone of military success, is equally transformed. So you can predict maintenance needs, you can predict supplies management, you can orchestrate seamless delivery of resources, ensuring that your armies are always battle ready and strategically equipped. From strategic planning to the front line of logistics, AI not only enhances operational efficiency, but also secures a tactical advantage in critical moments. Overall, it is reshaping the way we fight wars.
So AI is already having a massive impact on our world, just like it's changing the way we work, the news we see, and even how elections are run. The major concern over AI is whether it's taking away our jobs. But before we go further, check out these lines from noted historian and author Yuval Noah Harari's book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. He says, humans and machines might merge so completely that humans will not be able to survive at all if they are disconnected from the network. Now, why are we quoting him? Because Harari has always been very vocal about the dangers of AI. During a discussion at the University of Cambridge, Harari warned that in a few years from now, AI could escape our control and either enslave or annihilate humanity. He said AI is already upending our economy, our culture, and our politics. Now see this report. Tech giant Microsoft has warned that China might use AI-generated content on social media to spin people's opinions during elections in countries like India, South Korea, and the United States. And here's the real kicker. AI development is happening way faster than ever before. It's evolving at a breakneck pace, and Harari fears it could surpass human intelligence altogether. Tesla's CEO Elon Musk made bold predictions about the rapid evolution of AI. He says AI surpassing human intelligence, known as artificial general intelligence, would be developed either next year or possibly by 2026. So imagine a super smart AI that doesn't even understand us. And what if it decides we are not useful anymore? Harari acknowledges theories that suggest that AI might develop consciousness in the future. He warns that such an outcome could lead to the destruction of not only human civilization, but the very nature of consciousness itself. So what is the basis of this doomsday scenario? Well, AI systems are as good as the data they are trained on. If that data is biased, the AI will be biased too. This could lead to unfair decisions in areas like hiring people or loan approvals. What's more, the more sophisticated AI gets, the better it becomes at spotting patterns. And that includes patterns in our personal data as well. This raises serious privacy concerns. Imagine an AI knowing everything about you, from your shopping habits to your deepest fears. Even with good intentions, AI can cause damage. Let's say we design an AI to maximize efficiency, but it might become obsessed with using resources in a wasteful way, harming the environment in the process. Not exactly the green future we are hoping for. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi raised concerns regarding the use of AI. He said clear distinctions should be made to prevent misinformation. In a conversation with Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, he said there is a significant risk of AI's misuse if placed in unskilled hands.
You know, it seems like AI is a huge opportunity, but there's some challenges that come with that. How do you think India will approach that?
देखिए एआई ने जो चैलेंजेस खड़ी की है वो मैंने देखा है कि इतनी ही अच्छी चीज अगर प्रॉपर्ली ट्रेन किया बिना किसी के हाथ में दे दी जाए तो वो मिसयूज होने की संभावना ज़्यादा है। अब मैंने एआई से जुड़े सारे ब्रेन से उनसे भी बात की। मैंने कहा शुरू में हमने कोई भी एआई जनरेटेड चीज़ है तो उस पर आना चाहिए वाटरमार्क कि ये एआई जनरेटेड है, ताकि कोई मिसगाइड ना हो। और ये बुरी चीज़ नहीं है, सिंपली इट्स एआई जनरेटेड, तो मैं उसका वैल्यू समझ लूँगा। तो ये ज़रूरी है कि डीप फेक एआई जनरेटेड और ये सोर्स है, ये आज शुरू के दिनों में, आगे चल करके क्या होगा ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी शायद, लेकिन ये हमने कुछ डूज एंड डोंट्स उस पर सीरियसली सोचना पड़ेगा।
So then, how do we avoid getting wiped out by AI? Harari suggests setting up regulatory institutions to keep an eye on AI development and making sure it stays safe. These regulatory institutions would basically be the referees of the AI game, making sure things don't get out of hand. In March this year, the United Nations General Assembly unanimously adopted the first global resolution on artificial intelligence to encourage protecting personal data, monitoring AI for risks, and safeguarding human rights.
Today, as the UN and AI finally intersect, we have the opportunity and the responsibility to choose as one united global community to govern this technology rather than let it govern us. So let us reaffirm that AI will be created and deployed through the lens of humanity and dignity, safety and security, human rights and fundamental freedoms.
AI offers immense potential, but its power demands careful consideration. With awareness and proactive measures, we can ensure AI becomes a force for good and not a threat to humanity. The crypto market has gone wild in recent times. Bitcoin braces itself for the upcoming halving event. Ethereum has a successful update called Decode, and Solana goes way up in value because of all the meme coin hype. Now, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse predicts the entire crypto market could be worth over $5 trillion by the end of the year. So despite such optimism in the crypto world, where everything seems like a win-win scenario, what went wrong with FDX, the now bankrupt cryptocurrency firm that led to one of the biggest financial frauds in US history? Watch this.
How are you guys doing this morning? Aside from all of us in front of you.
Here, guys, how about we give you a shot?
And then let us be.
You have to go around where you came from.
This elderly couple are the parents of Sam Bankman-Fried, the poster boy for crypto. Both Stanford law professors were leaving the Manhattan Federal Court after their son's hearing. Once called Crypto King, FTX's former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried was recently sentenced to 25 years in prison for stealing $8 billion from his customers. Before its downfall, FTX was a major cryptocurrency exchange. It was one of the biggest platforms for buying and selling digital currencies, making its founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, a prominent figure in the financial world. FTX attracted millions of users who traded crypto on its platform. Then what went wrong? To understand this, let's go back a decade. It was 2014. A fresh graduate from MIT with a degree in physics started his career as a trader. He specialized in exchange-traded funds or ETFs, where you find investments selling for a low price on one market and then quickly sell them for a higher price on another. 3 years passed. By 2017, Bitcoin was booming, but there weren't many platforms to easily buy and sell it. This 25-year-old man saw this gap in the market as a great opportunity. He started with a clever trade, buying Bitcoin cheaper in the US and selling it for more in Japan. This success led him to create his own trading firm, Alameda Research. In 2019, building on his experience, he launched FDX, a cryptocurrency exchange. This marked the beginning of Sam Bankman-Fried's journey as a poster boy of the crypto world. But big trouble hit FTX in November 2022. The US and other countries started investigating them for breaking securities laws. It also came out that FTX used a whopping $10 billion of customer money to support its sister company, Alameda Research. Following the downfall of FTX, the cryptocurrency exchange, its affiliated trading firm, Alameda Research, and 130 other companies within the FTX group all filed for bankruptcy. Bankman-Fried resigned amid the company's fall. In November 2023, Bankman-Fried was convicted of 7 counts of fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. Prosecutors accused him of stealing money from FTX customers and using it for his own benefit. This money went towards things like donations to politicians, other investments, and even personal spending. Bankman-Fried, however, claimed he had no idea. He said he only found out at the very last minute that his companies were using customer money for things it wasn't meant for. He faced a potential 110-year sentence under federal guidelines. Prosecutors argued for a 40 to 50-year term, but the judge deemed it excessive. The judge prioritized preventing future fraud over a lengthy sentence. As part of his sentence, Sam Bankman-Fried was ordered to forfeit $11 billion in assets. This means the government will take control of all that money or property from him. He has vowed to appeal his conviction and sentence. So what happens to FTX now? An April 2023 report by FTX debtors points to failures of FTX Group's management team before bankruptcy. It says the FTX team lacked appropriate management, governance, and organizational structure. In January 2024, FTX announced it would not restart its cryptocurrency exchange. Instead, it will liquidate all assets and return the money to customers. The reimbursement amount will be based on the November 2022 price of the cryptocurrency, which is when FTX collapsed. So is FTX an isolated incident or a sign of deeper problems in the crypto world? Well, more cryptocurrency companies have fallen on hard times. Genesis, a cryptocurrency lender, filed bankruptcy on 20th January 2023. Genesis owed creditors nearly $3.4 billion after the downturn of the cryptocurrency market with the FTX news. People are already skeptical because of the lack of stability of cryptocurrency, its lack of security, and increased scams. The broader consequences in the cryptocurrency market are not known, but this large collapse in cryptocurrency's short history may deter a lot of investors. Well, that's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues that touch our lives and imagination. This is Munmun Bhattacharya signing off. Goodbye for now from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. Take care and stay safe.